So actually,
Yeah.
going back to what you said about Netflix, like differentiating from like Netflix and Hulu, then to the box office, for like the modern day cinematographer, which one is more attractive? Is like the Hulu series, the Amazon series, like the Netflix series, are those more attractive than going to the box office? Because that's what it kind of
I
seems
think
like from the outside looking in.
I think personally for me, I think it would just be cool to have it in the theaters because when I was a kid, we go to the movies like maybe like twice a year, or like once a year, and when we go, that'd be like the dopest thing. Like that's like
it's like the experience. It's more of the experience than actual
exactly.
film. Yeah, got you.
Exactly. Yeah, so it'd be like once a year, and like it would just be tight. It would just be tight, and just to see a movie that I made like on the big screen, that'd be sick.
Yeah.
But logistically speaking, rationally speaking, just put that shit on Netflix. Like, just get views, rack it up.
Yeah, because I feel like Netflix and like Amazon, like Amazon and all these other Hulu, they have a huge budget and like they invest so much money into like, camera equipment. It's like so much stuff. Like, it's kind of like there's a lot of Netflix movies that I'm like, damn, like this looks better than something we put in the theaters. So for me, it's kind of like
the way it's so funny that you said that because the way that they advertise now is like as if it's coming out in the theaters. I saw this one trailer for The King of Staten Island. Have you seen that?
Oh, I've seen the Pete Davidson. Yeah, I'm excited for that one.
Yeah. So that one is like if you watch the trailer, it looks like you like when I was growing up, it looks like a movie that would be in the theaters. I think it's coming out in theaters, but it's on what, Hulu?
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure it's on Hulu. Yeah.
Like it's a different day, man. It's a different day and age.
Does that open up more possibilities for filmmakers, in your opinion?
I think so. I want to say I think so.
Okay.
I want to say I think so because I'm not too keen on what it takes to get a movie into the box office.
Right.
But I think it's whatever process that is. I feel like getting it on Netflix is a lot easier.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because I feel like it's kind of like the Hollywood aspect too, like the politics that go into it, and who in Hollywood believes that this certain ideas get more recognition than other ideas. I feel like Netflix sometimes is kind of like, all right, like it doesn't have to be like your typical Hollywood type of movie as long as it gets 100%.
So I'm gonna tell you something right now.
Yeah.
And I put my homegirl onto this the other day. You might find this interesting. When you ever wonder why you see a lot of white people in movies?
Other than like politics and stuff like that?
So like when you watch a movie, you're like, man, there's a lot of white people in here.
Yeah.
So when movies are written and movies are directed and stuff, people write because they see themselves in it. If you write a movie, it'll probably be somebody that looks like you, right? Or if I write a movie, it's probably gonna be some nerdy ass black kid.
Right.
And when people write, it's usually white people because people are writing it.
Right.
And there's like this, I don't know. It's like a what's it called? I don't know. It's like a prerequisite when you make things. Just it's always like a black kid with glasses, and and when you have a whole corporation like Hollywood that just has people that are white, you don't see a lot of people of color. You don't see a lot of people a lot of people, and it's just mostly white people that are writing. So with Netflix and Hulu and all that stuff, you get all kinds of people. You get LGBT people, you get people of color, you get different people other than white people.
It's more inclusive because it kind of levels out the playing field. If that's
exactly, because it's not only white. Exactly, because it's not only white people making films. It's not only white people writing. It's not only white people editing. It's not the only white people shooting.
Yeah, right.
And I feel like Hollywood is pretty bad at
diversifying itself,
making things inclusive. Because I didn't realize that there was like, if you go back and watch movies from like the 2000s, the 90s, it's a lot of white people.
A lot, bro. Yeah. A lot.
It's a lot of white people.
Yeah, one example that I was gonna bring up was that. Yeah, one example that I was gonna bring up was that there was this one. There's like this one scene from like an old like Egyptian type of movie, and the guy who plays like an Egyptian prince, like an Egyptian, right, bro, like the whitest person. I'm sitting there. I'm like, even back then, I was like, people didn't realize that, you know, Egyptians aren't white, like that they're obviously like they look like Egyptians. Like you
Yeah,
couldn't just get like an Egyptian actor
dark.
to come in
Yeah.
and do it. Like even back then, like come on, bro, like that's
Egypt,
crazy.
Egypt is in Africa.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Egypt
saying.
is in
Yeah,
Africa.
you're not gonna get nobody like people even my skin color. There's nobody. That's crazy. Like that's nuts.
Yep. It's because
Yeah.
when people write,
They
they're
see
white.
themselves. Even they even see themselves as like like an Egyptian. Like that's
Uh-huh.
but even like that, like
Uh-huh.
doesn't it kind of take the logic out of things? Like that kind of like sounds like illogical in a
Yep.
sense.
Yeah, it takes the realism out of it. And a lot of movies do that. I don't know. They're starting to crack down on it a bit more.
Yeah.
Like with animated films like Coco. Have you seen Coco?
I haven't seen Coco, but I heard it's really good. I heard like it won a whole bunch of awards.
It's very
Same.
good. And they got all Latin actors,
Yeah.
Latino actors to act in it. So they're cracking down on it a bit more, but
Yeah. Cracking the code.
I don't know.
Finally.
Back then it was some other shit. I don't know, man.
Yeah. So how do you personally go into casting? Because like you've been in charge of your own project. How do you go into casting? Do you kind of say like, all right, like because like you said, people who create films and like write scripts and everything, they see themselves within the movie. But since you know that, you kind of say, all right, since I know this kind of like inaccuracy that happens in the industry, let me step back for a minute and think realistically, like like casting wise, if that makes any sense.
You know what's so funny? Now that you asked that, I just realized every like short film that I've done, it's like it's me in it. Like even the one that we're working on right now, like I'm in it.
Right.
And partially because it's just hard to find people to be in shit like normally,
Right.
like
Yeah.
to commit. And but yeah, it's because I see myself as that. So I'll just put myself in it. I'll be like, fuck it, like I'll
Yeah.
do it. Like
I mean,
I
it's
think
your
I have
movie.
a
You can do it.
personality. I think
Yeah.
I'm a funny guy.
Yeah. I mean, listen, like you said, like you're an entrepreneur, like it's your own business. Like it's on you. If it's a good thing, that's on you. If it ends up fucking up horribly, that's also on you.
Right.
So that's perfect. But with that being said, like do you also kind of like want to get like into more serious acting roles maybe in the future, or do you want to just stick to film?
Hey man, I was I don't know. I always kind of hated being in front of the camera.
Right.
I think because I used to be a little insecure, not gonna lie, but it kind of got me out of my shell because I had to be in front of the camera because I had no choice. I can't have somebody else do it and fuck it up. So I'm like, okay, like let me try it out, and I actually kind of enjoy it. I'm in like this web series with my friend, and
Yeah.
I kind of help him out with his because he needed an extra actor. So I was like, yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
And I actually kind of enjoyed it. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
this is kind of tight because I'm not behind the camera. I'm more just like focused on being in front of the camera. I'm like, this
Right.
is cool. Like, I don't have to worry about like what the lighting looks like because that's not my job.
Yeah, you just
Because
recite the lines and do the best you can.
Exactly. With filmmaking, you got to like stay in your lane and whatnot.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's just not my job. I ain't got to deal with that. Like, I'm just gonna focus on this.
Right. Do you feel like that acting? Well, since you tried out acting, do you feel like that kind of like sharpened your director and cinematography skills a little bit? Because now you kind of know, all
I
right,
think
from the other side of the camera, I understand how things look like now. So now it kind of like
Yep.
evens out.
If anything, I think it was the other way around. I think my directing and being behind the camera helped my acting.
Okay.
So,
Perfect.
people usually when you have actors and stuff, you have to place them because they don't know exactly where the camera is. But I could look at the camera and see what kind of lens they're using. And if it's a 50, I have to get really close because, 50 millimeters is close. So I'm like, okay, let me get close. So they hardly have to tell me anything as an actor in terms of placing.
Which is probably a dream for directors.
Oh, 100%. And even editing wise, if my face is like this, just like sitting there not doing anything, it's going to look bad on the screen.
Right.
Like I have to have like, you know what I'm saying? You got to have some energy in your face. You can't just be like,
right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if my face isn't like that, they're not going to use they're not going to use that clip. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's like you understand like the whole aspect of everything, which is
dude, when
perfect.
Like I said, being independent, if you can wear all hats, it makes you speak other languages better in terms of like, I can speak the editing language really well. I can speak directing really well. I can speak cinematography really well. I can speak acting really well. It makes everything just flow a lot more as opposed to me just knowing how lighting works. I remember I did a music video for this one dude and I was just shooting it. I was shooting and editing and he was a director. He's like, the biggest director. His name was Jason, right?
Yeah.
Jason's like, yeah, Jared. So like for the artist, I want the camera to go in like this, and I want to come out, and I want it to be daytime. And I look at him, I'm like, bro, that's not possible. We don't have that kind of equipment.
Yeah.
We don't.
Okay, yeah.
He's like, see if you can make it happen though. I'm like, it don't work like that. And it makes you look like it makes him look stupid because he doesn't understand editing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If he spoke the language of editing, he'd be like, yeah, maybe we could think of a more practical effect.
It's not even like he has to be an expert editor. It's just he has to at least understand the basics of editing.
Exactly.
I feel like if you were just on the basics, you would understand that that's a horrible idea and that what he just said was really stupid.
100%. I shot a thesis film for my homegirl that was still in film school, and she likes the way I shoot. And I was like, yeah, I'll be a cinematographer. That's no problem. And but what I shoot, because she was telling me about all it was like some supernatural shit, like crazy effects, like crazy transitions or whatever. And I'm like editing the film in my head as a cinematographer so that whoever edits it can put it together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'll shoot a certain way. Maybe I'll do like a flip transition or like this. You know, it's like I give them all the ingredients. All they have to do is cook it.
Perfect.
You know what I'm saying?
Awesome.
And people don't shoot like that. People do not shoot like that. People just shoot whatever is on whatever the shot list is. That's my job. It's done.
Right.
But I know how complicated the shots are, and I know how complicated it is going to be to edit. So because like I'm editing in my head already.
Yeah.
So whoever doesn't have a hard time. So the film will just come out like just much better.
Perfect. Hector, you got anything for him?
Yeah, I do. I was gonna ask Jared. You know that we're a music-based podcast, among other things also. So I was gonna ask, you talked about how you growing up, you didn't really, listen to music until you got to college, but could you tell us any of your favorite artists? You named Chance the Rapper one, but any other artists that you listen to that get you in the groove of filming?
The groove. I mean, I listen to old Chance. I don't know about the new stuff. New stuff is a different story. Old Chance, yes. What's the clue? Do you know who Saba is?
Actually, I do, yeah.
Saba, like his last project, that shit is really fucking good. People in Chicago just be killing it. Like No Name. Who else? I listen to a lot of.
You seem like you would listen to guys like artists like Buddy, Internet James, guys like that. I think like if you haven't heard of them, like you should like
I actually
tune into them.
I know, Buddy. I actually saw him the other day. Well, not the other day.
Really?
I saw him. Where did I see him? He was at a club, and my homeboy was like, "Is that Buddy?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think it is." He was cool. He looks very intense. I don't know if y'all seen like his face or anything.
He seems like a character. He seems funny as hell. Yeah,
he does. I feel like I get along with him, but yeah, I know Buddy is. I listen to some of his stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Internet James also, bro. He's a good indie artist. I think he's in Rostrum Records, but yeah, he's a good artist. You should tune into him.
Word. That's dope. What's it called? Y'all send me some of these links to the stuff we talked here.
All right, dope. So before we let you go on real quick, what do you have planned for the rest of 2020? That might be kind of like a complicated question because everything is kind of like on lockdown still, and like everything's like all over the place. But like as of right now, what can you tell us that you have like planned out?
We're finishing the short film that we're working on right now.
Okay.
Actually, tomorrow we're shooting the last shots for it, and then video that I've been working on that need to be finished. One of them is released tomorrow or tonight. Out for it. I might check it out. I have some other stuff like low key that I don't really talk about because I'm just trying to keep it low key.
Yeah, I got you.
But I'm moving on a little music.
Oh, okay.
So you know the videos there.
Perfect.
Other than that, just gonna keep working, man. I'm just trying to get my bread up right now.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I just been saving, trying to pay my fucking car note.
Yeah.
It's just, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to at least with the time I'm trying to like get my chakras in line and everything. Make sure I have like a good game plan for the rest of
Right.
the year. I mean, I want to do. I might do one more short film towards the end of the year, but that's like a big maybe. That's a big maybe. Right
Right.
now, I'm trying to help my friend. I'm trying to put my friends on right now. Honestly.
Perfect. Sounds like a great plan. You kind of trying to like plan everything together first. That way, when like the time comes where we're normal, or I guess like quote unquote normal again, you can finally just go
Yeah.
out and execute
Ex-
as accurately as
exactly.
possible.
I'm trying to utilize the time that we have now just to, you know, plot, plan, strategize, and so like, I don't want to waste any time. Like everything that I'm doing now, I'm low key, I'm kind of glad that not glad that it happened, but I'm taking advantage of that it
Yeah.
happened because because things are moving really fast and give me time to appreciate everything that I do have right now. Like I spend more time with my family and you know, realizing that I was able to go out with my friends every day. Like when you're not in school, bro, like that's just some like every day is Saturday.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like,
Yeah. No, I feel you. All right.
but
So
yeah, no, I just trying to get more in tune with like how creative I am because I never really consider myself as creative.
all right, bro. Absolutely. I want to thank you again for joining us. Honestly, all this is like a pretty like big deal, and because obviously we're trying to get like more
Yeah.
cinematographers, more like video people, like, and I feel we're kind of like stepping our game up with people like that. Like,
Yeah.
that's obviously like a huge art. Respect you guys a lot for it, and I wish you nothing but the best of luck. Hector, do you have anything else for him before you log off?
No, I just want to thank, just like Mateo said, bro, for joining us, because you actually taught us like a little bit more in depth of what goes into cinematography, but on the film side, you know what I mean? So we
Yeah.
really appreciate that.
100%, man. 100%. I'm trying to let people know how it is on this side, you know what I mean? Because I feel like cinematographers and people behind the camera just get severely overlooked. Not just speaking for myself, but like I have a lot of friends that do like dope work, but they just don't get, people just don't get it,
Right. Nah, definitely. It's definitely a very underappreciated job and all that. And it's like it's actually a huge art.
It's an art, bro.
All right, perfect.
Appreciate it,
So
man. I appreciate y'all's time.
now, of course, man. Thanks for joining us. All right, so for
Okay.
Jared Bishop, Mateo Mantia, and Hector 61 is a Real Podcast. We will catch you guys next time.